grandparents' place, and they used the old schoolhouse to store hay in and stuff. And my brother was up there probably 6 or 7 years ago, and he said it was pretty well fallen down.
Oh, really?
And they moved it down from where, they moved it in the schoolhouse from above my grandparents' place down below, next to the little house that my aunt and uncle built. In fact, my two sisters and I went to school in that little house while they were building the schoolhouse, and there was just the three of us. And my aunt was a teacher, and then later when the Thompsons came in and put the mill in up there, why, they gradually had other children. You know Phyllis Dickey?
Yes, I do.
Ardell Spencer.
Mm-hmm.
They went to school up there.
Oh my gosh.
And in fact, well, I guess Phyllis's brother didn't go either. Anyway, she went to school there for a while.
I wonder if we drove up there sometime, if there's any remnants at all of that. I wonder if we drove up there sometime, if there was any remnants of it at all. That would be really neat.
No, you couldn't find
couldn't
it,
tell.
I don't think. But, I haven't tried to for years.
Yeah.
We had it, after Thompsons Mill came in, they built a plank road all the way from the mill through down to the, I don't know, you probably don't know any of the places up that way, but
A plank road, that would be, you know, like
wood.
Wood.
It was built like so many people, I tell them that, they can't figure this out. But it was built like kind of like a railroad track. They had cross pieces, and then they had 3 planks this way. You know what a plank is?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
They had 3 planks wide, and there was a space in between.
Wow.
And they had these cross pieces, and then when they went around a turn, why they just filled it in all the way around, the whole kind of a fan shape.
Oh, I see.
That's where I learned to drive on that plank road.
And what did you learn to drive on? What was the car?
I was about 16 when I started driving at first. I didn't get my license until I was 18. And I hauled kids from school up there after our district got down to where they didn't have enough kids to maintain it. Why, we hauled them down here. In 2 years, I brought them clear down here to the house on the left as you're coming up the road right down here.
Mm-hmm.
That was the schoolhouse there.
Oh, it was?
And that was a Fremont school, they called it. And I hauled my sisters and the Thompson girls, Ardell and her sister, Evelyn, and the Davidsons.
Davidsons, I think I knew them.
That was all. Then next, I don't know whether we brought them down here 2 years or whether we just, I think it was something like 2 years. Then we got into the little Deer Creek school on up the road here, and I hauled them down to there to go to school. Like I said, I've done a lot of things.
You have. So after...
Nothing that paid much money, unfortunately.
Yeah, but, you know, you survived. Look at you now, you know. So after you learned to drive, then did you get married, or did you...
I didn't get married till I was almost 21. But,
smart girl.
I worked at the cafe down there for a year and a half, something like that.
And that was the Chat and Chew.
Mm-hmm.
And who owned it?
Hubbard's.
Hubbard's, okay. And you were a waitress?
Pardon?
You were a waitress there?
No, I worked back and cooked.
Oh, you were a cook?
Sometimes I waited in the counter, but not very often.
What was your favorite memory? Do you have any memories of working there?
My favorite memory?
Yeah.
I don't have any favorite
Any funny
there.
things happen?
Because I was so so slow. I never done anything like that, and I was so slow. They'd all go on and leave me, and I'd have to clean up the darn place and lock up.
Oh my
Sometimes I
gosh.
wouldn't get out of there till 11 o'clock.
Oh my gosh.
And come home and milk a cow.
At 11 o'clock at night?
Yeah.
Whoa.
But anyway, then the growers over here put in berry fields, and they told me they'd pay me the same as I got down there, and I wouldn't have to drive to work. So I worked for them for quite a little while.
So you were a row boss?
Yeah, row boss, check boss. Hauled the berries to the packing place.
A little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything. Moved irrigation pipe.
Oh my
Done
gosh.
a little bit of everything.
Wow. And what year was that? What?
Yeah, I think that's 64, 65.
Early 60s. I probably picked there.
Clifford and Pat were going to university, and they were there. Clifford graduated from University of Oregon in '64 and Pat in '65. So I must have gone to work down at the Chat and Shoe about 1962, somewhere along there. I don't remember for sure.
So before that, though, you were working in
getting by on the farm out here. We raised calves. Come on, baby, they picking on you. Raised calves and sold them at the auction and sold milk, and then we had some sheep here for a while. Clifford had sheep. Of course, I got the job.
Oh yeah.
Like most mothers.
Yeah.
But, and I hurt my back in 1965, so I had to quit working out in the berry fields and places. When I finally got over that, I'm not over it yet, but...
Oh wow, what did you do?
Oh, I was back to these sheep. Nelson Agee, do you know the Agee name?
Mm-hmm, of course.
He was our neighbor up there, and he used to haul calves and things to the auction house down where Lowe's are now. And he was taking some lambs down there for me, and we were loading them out here, and one of them started to run past the pickup, and I twisted like this and grabbed it, and I ruptured a vertebrae down in my back.
Ooh.
Talk about hurt. Whew.
Oh.
I thought I was going to have to crawl to the house after he left. I tried to keep the stiff upper lip till he left.
Oh my gosh. So he didn't even know.
No, he didn't know it.
Wow.
But, anyway.
Huh.
And after I got over that, enough to work out anywhere, I worked at the home laundry in McMinnville.
Do you know?
Place.
Do you know that my father's family started that?
They did.
The Chamberlains.
Oh.
Do you remember them?
No, I don't.
Yeah, my father, Lawrence Chamberlain, his father, Walt, and his mother started the home laundry service in Mac. But I don't think that they didn't own it then, because they died really in the 40s.
Ralph. It's gone again. Ralph. I can't think of his last name right now. But he had it when I worked there.
And what did you do when you were...
And the old guy that used to be mayor in McMinnville, I think, owned it before that. Can't think of his name either. I worked on the presses.
That's hard work.
Hot work.
Hot work and on your feet.
You had no air conditioning. You just had a fan up over your little corner you were in there.
Wow.
I started out finishing shirts. The gal that worked on the shirt press, I had to finish it, ironing like around the cuffs and on the sleeves and different parts like that. I started on that, and I finally got, it had me on the darn shirt press for a while, and I didn't like that. These fancy shirts, you know, would come in with all the pleats down the front. And you had
Yes.
to get those just right. And then I finally got on to the press where we did work shirts and not coveralls, regular laundry mostly. Hello, do you want to go inside? What's the matter with you?
She wants attention.
I worked there for pretty near 7 years.
Wow.
And then I got mad and quit. And Pat was, I guess you call him the head, whatever. Anyway, he was part of the volunteer service in there in McMinnville. And he put me in touch with people that run the information referral office down here.
Oh.
And Green Thumb paid my wages for 4 hours a day to work in there. I worked there for
Green Thumb? I kind of remember that a little bit.
it was kind of a farm oriented thing. But they paid for me for 4 hours to work in there.
And what kind of things did you do?
Actually, I worked there for, seemed like it was pretty near 7 years.
Wow.
Too.
Well, what kind of things did you do?
Well, mostly just answer questions when people would come in, and then when they had to help people pay their light or electric bills and things like that, and help them out with their Social Security questions and things that way. I wasn't very brilliant at it. Margaret Haslin done the biggest share of it.
So was there anyone that worked with you there? Did you work alone, or did you work with? Yeah.
Margaret Haslin was in and out. She was there most of the time, and I would, something that I couldn't handle, I referred to her. She made home calls all around.
Really?
And I kept the records there of people that came in and things like that.
Huh. So, where was the place? Was it in a church or down in a building downtown? Was it in Sheridan?
Yeah, it was.
What building was it in?
It started right there on East Main Street where the beauty parlor is there.
That's where B. Curry's.
It started there and
oh, on the other side.
No, where the Curl Cuts and More is.
Yeah, okay.
They started there, and gosh, there was nobody hardly ever came in there. I'd sit in there for hours, and maybe nobody would stop. So I started agitating and suggested we move over into the old Masonic building. People back and forth there, you know, across the bridge. So we moved over into there. It was the Willamette Valley Community Action Agency is what I started out with.
Oh, okay.
Then we got the Yam Hill one down here, YCAP here in McMinnville.
Right.
I worked under them for a year or so.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, that was the last that I worked out. I retired. But we picked beans, we picked berries.
Did you pick beans at the Knutson Bean Yard?
Where?
The Knutsons? No.
No, we went over to Staten. That's where I met my husband.
Really?
In the bean field.
Oh, tell me about this. I want to hear about this. So how old were you?
I was 21.
21? And you were picking,
I
so...
said I was married, well, married till I was 21. I was 20 when I was married. I was 21 about a month later. But, so my two sisters and I camped over there. And,
oh, really?
he and his he had two others camping together. Their tent was fairly close to ours, and we could see him back and forth over there. I didn't even like him when I first got acquainted with him.
So in order to pick the beans, then you didn't go there every day and come back. You
Oh, no,
you camped.
No, we just stayed right there at Staten. You know, there used to be lots of bean fields. Maybe there still are, but they machine pick them now.
Yeah.
But people used to camp over there and stay right there and
Wow.
pick beans.
So, but you got over there in a car,
Yeah.
and then,
Yeah.
wow.
Okay.
So did you camp right by the bean field, or
Well, right close.
did they let you? Did the people?
We could walk to it.
The people let you do that owned the field?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we stayed over there. It was in 1939, and they had an early rain before the beans were done, and some of the bean fields that went down, you know, with the heavy vines and got rain on them. A lot of them went down. We picked in a few places like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you happen to pick hops?
Nope.
At all? My mother picked hops.
My folks did, but I never did.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess there was some hop fields
There used to be a hop yard out there somewhere close to where Deer Meadows is.
Right.
And the folks went down there, but they didn't amount to much.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked a few just to kids, you know, along there, but not to do any great good.
Right, right. But getting back to your husband now, you met him in the bean yard.
Yeah.
And how old was he?
He was just a year older than me.
1939?
I was 20 and his birthday was in July. He was 21, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And my birthday's in October, so he was just a year older than I was, from July to October.
And where was he from?
Well, he lived out at Newport. He started building a house out at Newport.
Wow.
But they came from Kansas originally.
Oh, wow.
His family did. He started to build a house, and his older brother and his mother came out here, and they moved into his house he was building. And he lived there, I think, with them for a little while.
That baby sure loves you.
She's sure been a devoted little thing since I got home from the hospital.
Yeah, they know.
She was just, at first she didn't act like she knew me, and then she got acquainted with me again. Had all these strange people going in and out of her house.
Well, sometimes they're mad because you left. Sometimes they get mad because you leave them, and then they've got to let you know, and then they start sweetening up again.
She came from across the road.
Oh.
So she didn't stray very far. But anyway, I was feeding an old cat out there in the garage, and this mother kitty come over here and discovered there was feed out there. And she come for quite a while, came over here, and then went out there one day, and here she was sitting there with 3 little kittens beside her.
Oh, and so she's one of them?
Yeah.
Oh.
I called the people over there. They claimed that she wasn't their cat, but she came from over there.
Oh.
And, I called and told them I couldn't afford to feed so many cats. Well, they couldn't either.
Oh, no.
Anyway,
But you make do.
They finally came.